We're up to the second lesson in Likutei Moharan, and he discusses in this lesson about what is the power of Mashiach. He says, how will Mashiach conquer the war of Gog and Magog? How will he win and end the final war? He says, Ki Likutei Zino shel Mashiach hu atfilah. He says the basic weapon of Mashiach is prayer. So you have to realize that every single thing that Mashiach will need to get done, even though he's going to fight major war against big armies and powerful people, it will be accomplished through what? Through his weapon. What's his weapon? His weapon is prayer. So the person has to realize that in our lives as well, how are we going to conquer and overcome the Yetzer Hara? How are we going to overcome any obstacle we have? We have to know it will only be done through prayer, through tefillah. He says that through this we can overcome any issue we have. He says, just like we know in the Torah, it says that Yaakov Avinu said, "Beharbi or bekashti," and the uncle says, "What is my sword and my bow?" that Yaakov Avinu is talking about. Yaakov Avinu said his sword and his bow is tefillah ubakasha. It is my prayer and my requests. So you see that the prayer and the requests are the weapon of a person. People think, no, I need to have a very powerful gun, I need to have a powerful job, I need to have a powerful tool to accomplish what I need to accomplish. And he says that no, really, the main weapon we need is our tefillot. That way we tap into the power of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we're able to get anything done. So now, he says, who perfected and who had this power, who had this weapon? How is a person going to have the power of tefillah and get answered? He says that we have to learn from Yosef. Yosef had this power. How did Yosef get this? Because he did Shmirat Brit. He guarded the Brit, and he was able to hold himself back in the laws of immorality. So therefore this gives you the power to hold the Klei, the weapon of prayer. And he says, we see that he got the Bechorah. How did he get the Bechorah? He got the birthright from Reuven. Reuven really was the firstborn. How did he get the birthright from Reuven? Because how did Reuven lose the birthright? Because he switched his father's bed, and he switched it from the tent of Bilhah to the bed of Leah. And what? This is something related to immorality. So you see that something related to immorality made Reuven lose the birthright. And what was the birthright about? Usually it was supposed to be that the firstborns were supposed to do the avodah. They were supposed to do the service in the temple. What's the service in the temple today? Instead of, we have the tefillah. The tefillah is instead of the korbanot today. So it comes out because of some lack of shmirat brit, something related to immorality, made Reuven lose the birthright, which is related to the tefillah, and made Yosef get it. So you see, when you guard yourself from immorality, like Yosef, he didn't fall Eshet Potiphar, and if you don't guard yourself, you fall like Reuven, you lose the power of the tefillah. So he says, notice how the firstborns, how did the firstborns lose the right in general to do the service of the temple? Now Leviim and Kohanim, they're going to do the service of the temple. Why did they lose it? Because they lost it in the sin of the golden calf. Egel Zahav. They went and they transferred over to the Kohanim V'im, but really the firstborns were supposed to be the ones serving the temple. But we notice the Gemara, the Masechet Sanhedrin tells us, why did the Jewish people do this Egel Zahav? Because really they wanted to go and make nu halachot, they wanted to go and make matir arayot, they wanted to go and marry people they weren't allowed to marry. So you see again, immorality, a lapse. Falling in immorality and Shmirat Brit led to losing the avodah power, losing the ability to serve at the temple, which means today losing the ability to daven, losing the ability to pray. So he says, you see again and again that Shmirat Brit is directly connected to the ability to pray. So therefore, you see that a person has to make sure that if he wants to be able to have the koach of the Klei of tefillah, which is the koach of Mashiach, which is be able to accomplish everything you need to accomplish in life through prayer, you need to guard the Brit. Guard the Brit means to overcome the evil inclinations, specifically when it comes to immorality. But really, it represents everything. The Zohar Kadosh writes that the first step to overcoming the Yetzer Hara is to becoming a master in overcoming immorality and overcoming the Yetzer Hara for Shmirat Brit. A person who doesn't do Shmirat Brit, who doesn't guard himself from immorality, it'll be very hard for him to pray. It'll be very hard for him to understand the importance of prayer. It'll be very hard for him to be dedicated and try every single day to pray and pray multiple times for something. Things that are greater needs more tefillot. If a person wants to pray for something small and simple, it could be that one tefillah is enough. But a person wants to pray for something that's great, something that's very lofty, he needs to pray a lot of tefillot. So to be dedicated, to come every day and to pray again for it and again for it, and to have faith that Hashem will eventually will give it to him, this, you need to have Shmirat Brit to be able to be dedicated. A lot of times people who are not Shomer Brit, they're very connected to their feelings, very, very connected to their emotions. The Chida writes, when does the person fall in Shmirat HaBrit? He says when a person is very down, a person is not happy, and a person is not going through a good moment, he can fall and he can say, oh, I need this immorality to pick me up, to make me feel good, and to make me happy again. So therefore you see that a person who is happy, and a person is happy with what he has, and he's dedicated, and he has a schedule, and he's busy, and he doesn't have time for immorality, he's more likely that he also be all dedicated in the tefillah. But a person who falls in immorality means he's not so happy, means he's not so put together, means he's not so scheduled, it means he doesn't have so much going on. Over there is more room that he'll lapse and he'll not be able to pray for something properly. So therefore we should all work on ourselves to guard the Brit, and b'zchut this, we'll be able to have the Klei Zayin, the weapon of prayer, to overcome all our obstacles.